Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so coming back, sir, mute everybody. Yeah. So just continuing from that aspect, because I've seen so many of my colleagues, and with those few fundamental things, you take sessions from one therapist, second therapist. We move from course to course. We try to learn new techniques. We try to apply it to the same problem. So we keep trying to upgrade our skill set. But fundamentally, we keep experimenting that with the one thing in our life that just doesn't change. And then we learn something new and we get another dimension to it. We feel very good. अरे यार ये भी सीख लिया. But still fundamentally वो एक चीज shift नहीं होती. And it's been in my zone. So last time when I spoke about in the Nurturers Meet, and I spoke about core darkness. And maybe for those of you who weren't there, I will summarize it quickly because it will become a very good framework with what I'm now going to explain with it. Because I think perhaps I do have some sense of what can be brought in life for these few aspects, which no matter how much you heal, don't heal. So, as a starter, when I was speaking in the Nurturers Meet in April, and I just refer to that as a very quick base, it applies to all of us. Nobody's exempt from it. It applies to all my students. It applies to all my teachers as well. So I haven't met a person in this lifetime to whom this doesn't apply. When we look at Earth, and this is a very quick revision of what I spoke about previously, that on Earth, we're constantly looking at two paradigms as humans. It affects, as I said, each one of us is affected by those two paradigms. The fact that at one level, we are ignorant and we are constantly seeking to become more aware. So that's one play that we are constantly into. I don't know, I'm ignorant, and I am moving towards awareness. And the second play, of course, because Earth is a planet of duality, the second play is about darkness and light. And it is this relentless play of both these forces that completely fashion our journey in totality through the Earth planet. It's these two paradoxical factorials, where at every level I am ignorant about something and I'm moving towards better awareness. And that journey doesn't stop. It keeps going on. And simultaneously, I also figure out that there are shades in me that are dark. Whatever darkness means to you, I'm not calling it as evil, but whatever darkness means to you. And I'm constantly trying to illuminate or move towards enlightenment. Now, simple mathematics, and this is what I had covered in my last talk. Simple mathematics will tell you that whenever there are two factorials, the TASO graduates will vouch for that, the answer always is a tetralemma. So whenever two factors are at play, then there are four possible quadrants of movement, which also I began to observe in human life is perhaps the answer to what I'm trying to cover in my talk today, which is number one, and this is the genesis of every soul on earth, because we all start our journeys on earth being dark and ignorant, which means we are not even aware of our dark side. We don't know it, which basically means we are almost animalistic in a human body. I'm now talking our evolution across maybe thousands of years on Earth. So from the time we've come from the animals, from Darwin's theory of evolution, we are dark and we have no idea that we are dark, which means we are completely driven by animal instinct. We're not evil, we're simply dark. What does that mean? My only focus is me, which typically means that if I'm hungry, the only thing I can think of is my food. If I want to mate, I'm just talking pure animal instinct. Then the only thing I can think of is I need somebody to get my hormonal urge off. And when I want to sleep, I don't care what happens to the world, I want to sleep, which is exactly how animals are. So if you realize how does an animal operate, these are the three things. When the animal wants food, when a lion wants food, it's not going to politely ask the deer, champion, I need to live. So can we very beautifully do some kind of ritual? Will you please lie down and let me kill you peacefully so that I can eat my food? Or for that matter, when the mating season comes and the animals go into much, they really couldn't be bothered about whether the other gender is really going to allow a entry point into a mating state or not. I need somebody. Permissions and free will is not taken into play. And that's fine, because that is the animalistic state of existence. And that's from where we begin. We begin from there. We begin with darkness, we begin with ignorance, we are driven by our own survival instinct. The difference is we have a human body. And with human body comes free will. It applies to everybody. Nobody is exempt from that. So what happens? In our pursuit of our basic instinct, we commit actions which violate boundaries. We are not violating boundaries with a malicious intent of hurting other people. We are doing it largely to fulfill our instincts. If people get hurt, people get hurt because they have no idea where you are coming from. So what happens? You are acting in ignorance and darkness, and to fulfill your own basic instincts, you are creating a violation of boundary. It happens very naturally, and it happens to everybody. Animals have no karma because they have no free will, but humans have free will. So the moment we do that, our signature with karma on this planet begins. As you sow, so shall you reap. Without going into the mathematical equation of this, the moment your instinctual actions violate the boundaries of others, you will set yourself up for pain. That is a given. And this is where, without understanding how and why, pain will make its appearance in your destiny. So now when you make a life plan, pain will come. What is the full form of pain? Pay attention inwards now. And this is what gets most people into therapy, because they don't understand the logic of why their life is not working. Why are they not getting what they want? Most of us on this group, we are 100 people at the moment, have come either into seeking therapy or learning therapy to find an answer to that pain that we did not think we deserved. We don't know why it's there. And it's there in your destiny, and you're going through it. You don't have the logic for it. And so it brings you into the story. This pain, unfortunately, is your starting point to awareness. Now, what happens? As you start your inquiry about why, very often you become aware of your own darkness. And then you, of course, come to the conclusion, but this is not what I intended to do. I had no malicious intent in this. So like we say in a management perspective, from being unconsciously incompetent, where I started, I now become consciously incompetent because I am now aware of that darkness of mine. So the last time I explained this concept in Bangalore, I think Vijay Sai, who's a student of mine, or maybe another student, converted this whole logic of mine into a very, very simple flow sheet. I'm going to demonstrate that now. I think if I find it, I'll just put it here. Just give me a minute because it's very simple and beautiful to elucidate that. 1 second, yeah. So here we go. Just a minute, 1 second. One second, 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we start ignorant and dark. We violate boundaries. We're not aware of this. Now what happens? By the law of karma, this creates pain. And it is pain that you have to go through because you generated it unconsciously, but it will only come back to you when you are aware of it.
Sir, it is not
And
visible.
you can't see it?
No, no.
It's on the screen share.
So you'll have to maximize. Maybe it's not.
It's too small, is it?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
for us, it is okay. The screen share. Yeah, it's not. We can see only folder.
We
So you
can see
can't.
only
Yeah.
four. There are five things on the
Yeah.
screen.
Maybe you'll
So
have to click on it.
you have
So
to press on
open.
that and make it full, maybe. Open it.
1 minute. Hold on. As usual, my inner child with technology will always be super servient. Okay, so I did click on it, but 1 second.
So you can select that folder and then open it and then
So
share
1
it. on
second. So hold on. So let me first blow this up. Okay. 1 second. Yeah, now I go into share screen, which is what I did. I've got desktop here. Okay. And then, oh, you again see the 4 things. I double click
Yeah.
on this and still doesn't open. You still see just the 4.
Yeah. It's okay.
You
Okay.
should double click on it and then press the share screen.
Oh,
Sir,
double
you,
click on it and then press the share screen. Okay, hold on. Okay,
and while
okay.
sharing, you can share either desktop or the application. So you share the desktop so that wherever it is visible.
Okay. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah. Okay, complicated. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Should I just
It's
chuck it?
okay.
Let me
आप ऐसे ही
just stop.
पढ़ाइए. We'll get it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, okay. So, sad, yeah. I took effort and I actually put it on my bloody desktop. But technology will keep telling me, Yuvraj, don't. Relax.
So you can WhatsApp it to us and we can look
Yeah,
at
that
it.
I will. Yeah, that I will do. No, because there is a very beautiful diagram also that I wanted to show you all, which all I have put on my desktop. I just don't know how to share it now. So anyway, okay.
So if one more time you want to try, you can open the document and then
Uh,
share it. If one
I
more
can.
time you want to try, you just
So,
open that
yeah.
document
So Amita, it's on my desktop. Okay. All those things that I want to share are 3 different things on my desktop. So how do I bring it on the screen now?
So open the document that you want to share. Open it.
Yes. Open it. Okay.
Can you
All
see
right.
the document?
I can see the document. No problem.
Okay. So now just
And
see
now
if you
try and
can go
share it.
back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Try
now
if you-
share it. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah. Brilliant. Thank you as usual. I think this should work. Perhaps. Now, are we okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Bravo. Yes, yes.
Amita Thakkar, answer to my ills. Good. Okay. So here we go. So ignorance and darkness, violation of boundaries, the genesis of the soul on earth, generation of pain. And you plan this. It's destined and this pain will not disappear because the sole purpose of this pain is to make you aware of that ignorant darkness of yours. And it is this journey that brings most people into therapy, either to become therapists or to take therapy. And we keep trying to make sure that this darkness disappears. But this darkness will not go. Why will it not go? Because this darkness is fundamentally what has anchored your soul in the body, because you need something dark to keep you anchored in the body. And a majority of therapists do everything in their power to sort this out. But
Yeah.
this is not something that will go. Which means, what does it need? It needs acceptance and acknowledgement. And it needs acceptance and acknowledgement without the expectation of it disappearing from your life, because it will not disappear. This is perhaps one of the most fundamental anchors of human existence. And I want all of you who are listening to this and who are processing this information in your own ways to realize or acknowledge that whatever got you into your healing journey, and from that journey to where you are now, you have become therapists, you have become students, you're working with other people. This inherent fundamental darkness, which is frustrating you, which is upsetting you, which is tickling you, which is catching your goat, will be there. So, here is what I concluded ahead. I left in the last talk in Bangalore. I mentioned that we often say that what you cannot change, you accept. So you accept that darkness, you acknowledge that darkness. Now, acknowledging that darkness, so what are we doing? From the ignorance of our own darkness, we are moving into the second quadrant of the tetralemma, where I am now aware of my dark side. Most of us go for therapy here. Therapy changes many other things in our life, but this darkness, this fundamental darkness doesn't go. And this is where the deepest karma of the root chakra or the sacral chakra is. This is where the karma with money will be there. And this is the karma with relationships, marriage, and children will be there. And it will not disappear. It will be there because it is fundamentally there to make you accept it fully without judgment, that this is how it is. Now, the ability to accept your darkness, because you are now aware of the dark side, this acceptance of darkness is what I call as self-love, where you become aware of the darkness and you gracefully make peace with it. But how do you do that? How do you make peace gracefully with something that is often the biggest pain in your life? So I know many therapists accept it because they can't change it, but fundamentally deep down, if you were given an option, this is something you would love to change, which basically means your acceptance of the darkness is still coming from a premise of pain. It's not coming from a state of acceptance. You know, it is like saying, well, the grapes are sour. I don't get the grapes, so now in the name of destiny, I will say the grapes are sour. I'm still fundamentally not coming to full acceptance of it. Now, is there an answer to this? Anyway, first let me finish this quadrant and then I'm going to come back specifically to this darkness because that's what I wanted to talk about today. So the moment you become aware of darkness and acknowledge it, what will happen? The acknowledgement of that darkness starts to awaken your light, if you can do it genuinely. And that awakening of your light is self-love. So here you were aware of your instinct. Now you are aware and in acceptance of your darkness. And then once you start accepting your darkness with awareness, it will make you easily accept the darkness of other people. And when you come to easily accepting the darkness of other people, you are literally enlightened. The journey of the Buddha will end here. So this is, you can actually map through the four states, the awareness predicate towards enlightenment of your own soul journey. This is in a nutshell what I explained last time. This time, I figured out a couple of things more on this, which is what I am wanting to now share. So, if this is the scenario, and I think since I know many of you personally and I've seen your journeys, and I know how true this is for most of you. Okay. And so in the last 15, 20 days, this has been playing on and on and on and on. And then for me, the universe is often a very benevolent parent. Because when something catches my mind and I remain, you know, there has to be an answer, there has to be an answer. From ite things will start to appear, as if to give me an answer of what I'm actually trying to understand fundamentally, because there is a system up there. And then I noticed two things, which almost came in a flash. One is coming from history. And it goes back many years. This was basically a kind of, what should you say, dialogue or interaction between two Turkish people. I've explained this in the level 5 when I just finished this. There was a Turkish poet, Nizam Hikmat, and he spoke to his friend, a Turkish artist, Abidin Dino, saying, if you had to draw a picture of happiness, what would it be? Believe it or not, that painting that this Turkish artist drew, I'm going to share it on the screen now, has become the world's most famous painting of happiness. It's insane. Okay. So I'm going to show you on the screen now what is the world's most famous painting depicting happiness. I hope I get this right with Amita's blessings. I'm going to see. So let me, 1 minute. So here we are. I open. Yes, I think that's going to work. And here we are again. Share screen. Yeah. Watch this. Believe it or not, this is, and you can Google this, you will find it. This painting has been acknowledged as the world's most profound painting on happiness. It's the world's most viewed painting, has become extremely famous. And what is the conclusion that different philosophers across the world have concluded from here? And the conclusion has been that happiness is not the absence of suffering. On the contrary, it is the complete acceptance of suffering that you cannot change. Process this slowly. And this is the key to the darkness module. So as long as you are coming into the acceptance of your darkness because you have no choice, you will never be happy. It's so weird. It's a joint family. They're sleeping in a hut where it's dripping water. There is an umbrella. And yet in that moment, if you see the expression of the faces of people, there is something very deeply satisfying and gratifying in it. Authentic happiness. And with this painting, I began to understand, because I applied it to myself, that in all those areas of my own personal life where I did not get what I wanted because of karma, which reflected my own dark side, I realized that in those moments, the universe gave me things that actually buffered my journey through that darkness. What does that mean? That simply means that whenever you are paying the price of your darkness because of karma, at the same time, 1000%, the universe will give you resources to buffer it. And it will be there. Because if those resources were not there, you would die. But the fact is, you didn't die. So the problem is that we are so fixated on the darkness that when those resources appear, we take it for granted and continue to float trying to solve the darkness. But what if, instead of solving the darkness, you simply started enjoying the resources that you got at that time? And that would perhaps put you in touch with authentic happiness and give you the loving space, accept what is. Because those resources are always there. When I finish this talk, I'll try and give you a very simple protocol to follow. Try and do it. And hopefully, it might give you the big breakthrough that you're not able to get.
Sir, if
Okay?
you can support this with a small example, because we are not very experienced, so might get here and there.
No problem. So, let us say when somebody in your life walks out on you and you feel betrayed or you feel abandoned. And that abandonment is a karmic thing for you. You have chosen a parent, or you have chosen a partner, or you've chosen somebody who is going to abandon you, and or you are not getting the right partner to settle down with, and you're full of grief because you're not getting what you want, and you are doing sessions after sessions of karma, of past lives, how many lives to heal, to sort it out. You're going ballistic. Wait, I told you the two areas in which this darkness will come. It will be money or it will be relationships, because these are your two root and sacral chakra karma. Now, in this time, if you were to reflect on the deepest darkness of that time, from the universe, resource will come in other areas. Maybe you will develop an amazing sense of bonding with a few friends. That's one example. And they will come into your life to support you through this, but you can only see the relationship that is not working. What you don't see is the resources that come to you at that time to give you courage, to hold you, to support you. And they're always there, because without that you'd be finished. But your dhyan is not the resource. Your dhyan on what you don't have. And what this painting is showing you, that when those resources appear, if you could change your focus and pay attention to the resources, you would actually be very happy. You'd be at complete peace, happily, with not getting what you so desperately want. That's the key. That's the trick. Happily, you would be in a happy space, not getting what you are so desperately trying to get. That's the child I want each one of you to try and locate. That when in your own time, instead of, jumping into past lives and karma and all those things, if you sit by yourself peacefully and allow yourself to go back in time to that darkness moment and slowly look at it from an overview, it will become very clear of what resources came to you at that time. It will be clear. And in your head, if you find that child there and just bring it home, who is obsessed by trying to solve the darkness, because those resources will still be in your life. They are actually the source of your joy. And allow yourself to align to it, you will experience happiness without the necessity for dealing with karmic nonsense, because it won't go. Now, here is the classic closure to this. How do you know that you've got there? I will tell you that also. So what is the proof that I have actually made complete peace with it? The proof is, once you are in sync with resources, you will get other people who are mirroring that same darkness in front of your eyes. And you will become the resource for them to actually get what they want. It's insane, but it will happen this way. And the funny part is that when you become the instrument for them to get what they want, you feel personally that you have got it. So if you see, you move literally from root and sacral to crown chakra just by one simple reorientation in your head. Because you will attract exactly people in your universe who will come to you with the same problem that was your problem once upon a time. And the way resources came to you to make you feel happy, you will become the same resource for those people, and funnily, they will get what they want. And you will literally have lived through it. That dissipates the darkness. So when you can live your life in graceful acceptance without personalizing your problem and become an instrument for the transformation of joy of others, you are literally a living Buddha. And the amount of joy that is flow through you to them is the real reason why you came on the planet in the first place. Because this planet was never about you. This planet was always about what you could do to make the planet a better place to be in. That's why you chose to be a therapist.
सर प्लीज रिपीट दैट लाइन दैट यू बिकम द बुद्धा, उससे पहले आपने जो बोला, कैन यू प्लीज
So,
रिपीट? या
essentially, like as I said, different people are at different stages of the cycle, right? I just showed you that first quadrant. So, when do you know that you are hitting the last quadrant of enlightenment? There will be these three things. Firstly, you begin to find joy exactly in the area of your own darkness. You begin to find joy in it because your focus is on the resources that you got. Number two, you attract people in your life who show you how you were once upon a time. And number three, you now become the resource that gets to them exactly what you once wanted for yourself. But when you see them get it, the joy that you experience from within transports your presence literally from the root and the sacral to the heart and to the crown. And then you realize that the story was never about you. That's why you chose healing as a journey. And that is your golden referral. So, on a more objective note, it's very simple. It's very, very simple. On a more objective note, even now, if you are struggling with a certain issue in your life, and I told you the issue will only be in two areas, root and sacral. Don't waste your time in anything else.
Yes,
It will only be in these two areas, either root or sacral.
absolutely.
The first thing that you would now do, as I said, the two qualities that you need, observation and reflection. I'm not even going to say you should do regression. No. So when you see the same drama and your heart misses a beat, oh God, I still don't have the right guy in my life, or somehow I'm not money and relationship, these two dramas, or I am not saving 5 crores or whatever it is. The moment that thought comes, you're observing it, you're reflecting also. Are you still feeling something? Yes, you're feeling something. Wherever you are sitting, change the direction in which you're sitting. That's all you do first. So if you're sitting in one chair in one direction, the moment you get that thought, physically change the direction of your sitting. Why? Because every reality is locked by two things, time and space. Change the space. So if you're sitting straight, just sit like this. That's all. Start from there. The moment you change the way you're sitting, I can tell you the emotion will settle. It will settle immediately. Now what will happen? The moment you change the state and the emotion starts to settle, you will become slowly still. That halchal of not getting what you want will slowly become still. It will happen almost like a guarantee. Change the direction and let yourself become still. The moment you become still, and if you don't become still at 90 degrees, keep changing your direction of the chair. At some direction, you will experience stillness. The moment you experience stillness, anchor that position for a minute, 2 minutes. The next junction will be calmness. So you will first feel still and then you will feel calm. And when calmness comes in, 150%, you will be able to see the beauty of the resources that you already have in your life. 150% on that also. So all you need to do is change the orientation of how you sit when this hits you. Try it and let me know, okay? Because it's an experiment. I've tried to do it and I know how it works.
So I have a question.
Yeah, well, let me finish.
Many questions.
Yeah. So change the orientation till you first experience stillness. Once you experience stillness, hold that position till you experience calm. The moment you experience calm, look at your life again, just in the same position. And immediately this time, instead of the darkness that you don't have, you will clearly see everything that you have, which is actually a lot, which is the acceptance of suffering, which is that whole diagram that I showed you. And the moment that happens, get up and start to walk. The moment you get that awareness that these are the resources, then you'll start feeling good about it. Anchor, get up and walk. Walk in that same direction, because that will be you putting your presence in that orientation. And from that moment, as I said, you will start to attract people who were once in the same space, but you will have the grace to help them get what they want. And it will give you a phenomenal sense of fulfillment. It's not funny. And that sense of fulfillment is technically the only reason you came on earth. You came on earth not to conquer your darkness. You came on earth to take responsibility for it, to live it, and by living that responsibility, to dissipate that light for other people who are still in the journey. Because after all, I am another you. So the day you understand that it was never about you, you will truly start to experience the joy of life. The joy of life is never a journey of personal accomplishment. The joy of life is always to be able to see the world in a very happy space, because you yourself are way above that or below that, depending on how you want to see. It's very simple. It's very elementary. You get an old thought of what you don't have. The moment you get that thought of what you don't have, simply, as I said, observe, reflect, change the position, keep changing the position of your seat till you find stillness. Breathe. Calmness will come. Breathe. The moment calmness comes, look at your current life. And like this, you will see resources around you that are actually the source of great joy. The moment you see that, get up and walk. Fix your energy in that reality. And the conclusion of this will be, from that day, you will attract people. Most of you are therapists. You will attract people who are exactly in the same problem where you were. But this time, you will be able to facilitate fantastic shifts to them. This is also an answer to all those people who feel their therapeutic practice is not picking up. It's not picking up because you are not
settling down.
flowing in the direction of therapy that you are meant to flow in. The moment you align yourself correctly there, line lag jayegi client. Happily. And you will then realize that that was the only reason you were born on this planet. There was nothing else to do. Yes. Pooja, you had a question.
Yes, sir. So exactly this is what I wanted to ask you today morning. And then I was like, okay, I'll ask you. So now suppose, for example, I'm attracting all similar clients. Okay, 3 clients, 4 clients who want to become pregnant and all. And I've got that done successfully to 2. So today this thought came, maybe universe is blessing me that I can give this gift. Okay. But the thing is, if I realize this, have I made peace with this thought? Okay, that I am supposed to give this to others. Will those clients now, this level will move up? I will settle, like not see anymore these clients? Or
No,
will,
not as yet, because
Hmm.
the middle quadrant is incomplete. You
Okay,
still haven't fully made peace with the fact
exactly.
that
Yeah. So
it-
second
it-
expectation, like my thing is like, maybe when I get them this thing, I'll get. So is this right thinking? I mean,
no. So,
Hmm.
it has taken me a lot of reflection to understand this, because I have gone through the phase where you are. I have seen it in that perspective. I have seen me healing other people in exactly the areas,
exactly.
and yet I have gone on questioning it. But today I figured out that today, as in the last 15 days, that the key is this orientation. Now I can tell you, yes, it gives me a lot of happiness. I have absolutely no regret.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
it's a journey. It's not as in it's tak, but it's a journey.
Yeah. I
Now,
realized when,
yeah,
sorry.
when you repeat it with what I've told you to do, you'll see how sublimely simple for you it will become.
Yeah. So no, my concern here is, suppose like for marriage now, I know like I got, like I was able to do for others, but not for myself. Suppose example. Okay. Now the thing is, I've made peace. Suddenly that marriage thing is out of my life. Like I'm not even thinking about it, not even thinking. The next step came. Okay. So like this, I'll keep jumping. So where am I going? That's the thing. Like what is
You,
like,
you, you, in Alice in Wonderland, there is a very beautiful conversation that Alice has with one of those bunnies that come, where there are many roads, and she's asking this rabbit or bunny, where is this road going? And that bunny tells Alice, it depends on where you want to go. Where the road goes is of no consequence. Now the question is purpose becoming superservient to the product, or is the product predominantly occupying the zone of your awareness rather than the process? What is more important, the process or the product? If you are still product focused, that means you are experimenting with the process, you will continue to suffer pain and pleasure. The moment you drop your focus on the product and start to enjoy the process, where am I going? I am going nowhere. The universe is taking me to where it wants me to go. I'm having fun.
yeah.
That
I
is
actually felt joy doing this session. I was like, yeah, this
that,
is also nice.
that,
Yes.
that concept of being very mindfully present in the present is nirvana. Nirvana is the state of inner stillness and outer dance. Inner stillness comes when I don't have desires. As in, I'm very happy. Not that I don't have desires, but nothing is a fixation. Yes, I can have all the desires and they'll come very easy. When do desires not come easy? When they are exactly what you're not supposed to get. But we break our lifetime trying to heal it. And in the bargain, we block off and don't enjoy what can come very easily. So the fun is, where do I want to go? I don't care. What I want comes instant. And what I want is not what I'm not supposed to want. I don't even go there because it doesn't matter anymore. When other people get that, I bless them, I facilitate that. They are in great peace, literally as if a part of me lives through their experience.
Yeah.
Important for therapists, because the problem with therapists and why they are unhappy, I have maintained that therapists should be the happiest community in the world. because they have the techniques, they have the answers. The problem is nobody educates them of where to apply it.
Mm.
And all of them apply it exactly in the same area where they are not meant to apply it. Okay,
Beautiful. Mhm.
good. Enjoy, experiment. Let me know how it goes. Pick up the
Yeah.
most fundamental darkness in your life that you're still not at peace with and start to apply this in small ways and check what it does to you. Your defining moments will come. They will come when you will consistently get people in your close circles for whom you will deliver what you never got for yourself. You know, I'm a very big fan, or I have had two big schools of learning. One has, of course, been my students, and the second has been movies, Hindi movies. And there's been a range of movies that has taught me actually so many things about life. And I remember after I finished studying hypnotherapy, I used to often go back and watch the same movies that had left a profound influence on me when I was in my own growing up years. You know, there are movies that leave influence on you. They touch you, or they make you cry, or they, reflect something in your life. And of course, when you're not a therapist, you're completely looking at it uh, from a different angle. And then later on, subsequently, when you learn therapy and you learn sexuality, suggestibility, so many things, and then you see the movies again. And one movie that I saw quite often, in fact, that used to stay in my presence, was a movie that I think was one of Yash Chopra's early movies called Kabhi Kabhi. And I used to often see that movie just to understand the different shades of love that can exist. Because it was a very classical play on a couple of couples and how there were different angles to love and acceptance of different things. And of course, the movie ends with the youngest couple getting married, where the son belongs to one couple, and the mother of that son was technically the girlfriend of the other guy, whose surrogate daughter is actually sitting in the wedding. It's very beautiful ending. And then there is this last Main Har Ek Pal Ka Shair Hu, the last paragraph that comes back at the end. And that line where, Amitabh actually is singing, जो अपने लिए सोची थी कभी वो सारी दुआएं देता हूं. Now that is a very, very profound line for a therapist. It's very profound because it shows you how your darkness metamorphoses in becoming a light for other people. It's not going to enlighten your own life. He's not going to marry Rakhi again in the movie. No chance. But it's a very touching statement on how dreams and aspirations that are deprived or denied to us as therapists become the exact root of blessings that we give to others who come into our life with exactly the same situation. And that is the awakening of Buddha. When the joy of other people fills your own cup with exactly what you couldn't get for yourself. And then I think if you crack that, you will start to experience peace as a therapist. Not this crazy restlessness that I still have to solve this, so let me try something else, and let me try something else, and let me try something else. It's not about trying anything. Because the more you try to solve it, the more it takes you away from what technically you are meant to do. Because the universe is not so stupid. You will not have to do 40 attempts to get there. Okay? Try and take what I've explained, relook at your journey of therapy. Yeah? Relook at your journey of therapy. See from where you came. And from where you came, what that original issue was, how the universe has moved, where are your resources, and how can you become an instrument on healing exactly that aspect for other people peace in your waking up days, life will be good. My life will be good, my job will be done. So good luck. Bye-bye. I wish you well. And if we meet, awesome. If we don't,
So we cannot hear you.
end of the story. I will send the recording. Well, I haven't created a WhatsApp group for this, so I will probably figure out to see how to share the link, because this one went through Instagram. I am terrible with these things, so it's all guided by Rajesh Gurmani and these people. Maybe I'll speak to Nirmal, but I'll try and make sure, because this is on my Zoom account, so there should be a way in which I can share the link with all of you. If you want to preserve it or keep it, feel free, download it and keep it at your end.
Sir,
Bosman,
if earlier,
Nico, if I
earlier
may ask you a question.
Yes, Gerard. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Namaskara.
Namaskar.
Yes, I am alive and I'm good. You know my take on that.
All right. You quoted a line from a movie, a Hindi movie.
Yes.
And I'm not an English, I'm not a language speaker. So could you give me a quick
Yes.
translation, please?
Yes. So basically, it speaks about the fact that whatever dreams that I had for myself in my growing up years now become blessings for other people who are on the same path.
Thank you.
Get it?
Yes.
Good luck. All right. Bye-bye. Pleasure to see you all. Thank you. Till we meet again.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.